Oh, we on here. In here now.
Testing 1, 2. It's feedback. You hear the sound, ringing noise.
Check.
All that ringing got to go. Let's just get on the air, man. Have you dialed in yet? Thank you. Miss Bedell. Come here, Juanita. Juanita, come here.
No.
Two out.
Girl. When you get to be so calm, when you get to be so calm, don't tell me you can't get on. You have a signal or what? Let's go. We don't need all that in. Let's go right into the show.
It's a wake up.
We on there? Yeah. All right. Well, we had to do a little ad hoc. You know, the storm has wreaked havoc on everything. I heard there were some positive outcomes of the storm, Gerald, and that was that couples haven't slept together in years jumped into bed together last night. They was afraid, and she said, "I need to hold on to something," you know. And anyway, we're live in living color, and we got Ed Collins, my co-host, and of course Sabrina Athena. And can we pull up our ads? I want to go through some of our stuff. We have a new app, by the way, so all of our events and stuff are on this. It's called Dabo Events, DABOEVENTS, the net love fly, NETLIFI, DaboEvents.net love fly, NETLIFY.app. Do we have our flyers? No, we don't have them. I'm trying to go through them. I mean, we're already behind. All right, here we go. So we got, this is going to be aired on WADL every third Thursday for 30 to 8:32 hours. We just picked up a bunch of sponsors. This thing is growing. People are calling us, want to be on the show. And of course, Bruiser Wolf, who's a nationally known rapper, will be the talent. That's going to be on, I can't see the date, July 16th. Next. All right, you can get these tickets. This is the wrong flyer. I sent you the new one. I have to get it to you again. This is the wrong flyer, Lakaya, because we no longer go through that process. If you want your tickets, go to DaboEvents.netlify.app. You don't have to go through this big heart or none of that. But that's going to be Earthquake on July 22nd. Those tickets are going fast. Next. All right, we got this great dance workshop. I thought I sent you all new flyers recently, Lakai. We have a QR code for this. I'll make sure after the show while I'm on commercial, get you the right ones. If you have a church ministry or you just want to learn how to do liturgical dance, that's going to be August 7th. Next. All right, so here is a tribute to Billy Paul. Detroit put Billy Paul on the map, and that's going to be on August the 19th. His wife, Blanche, of 50 years, will be here. And we're looking forward to honoring him. He, by the way, raised the original money for this building to be renovated. He did a concert at Masonic with George Duke. And Billy's been a friend of my dad's and mine for probably 40 some years. Next. This is the next talent showcase, which is August the 20th. You can scan the QR code. You see the event information down there where you can get tickets, dayboevents.netlify.app. You can also go there and sign up to be one of the talent that will be judged. You know, you get a chance to win money and everything else. Next. All right, this is Dable's annual women's conference along with D. Wynn, addressing the opioid epidemic, mental illness, and trauma. That's going to be August 21st at the Bridge Center. Again, that QR code, that event is on there as well. Next. This is the men's annual conference, mental health advocacy sessions designed to reduce stigma, foster brotherhood, and provide tools for healthy living. That's September 11th, Friday at the Bridge Center. Again, all those events are up on the same location. Next. This is a prostate cancer piece we're doing. You get tested and get a trim. You get a free haircut, 45 and over. If there's some sense of symptoms prior to that, you can certainly come and we'll do that. But we're going to have 2 days of cuts. We've got a major grant to address prostate cancer from Bayer Aspirin Company. You'll be hearing more about that. So, brothers, sign up, get a free haircut, and, keep yourself moving and grooving. Next. All right, this is Enzima, which is our great, everyone loves her, September 16th. You know, that's, I got to check and see. I thought I sent you all the new ones. Next. All right, this brother here can play, man. He was the musical director for Sade and a bunch of other people, Average White Band. He throws down as Patrick Lamb, and Candace Pretty String Smith will be here performing as well. Next. Stylistics are back. Russell Tompkins. I'm actually singing You Make Me Feel Brand New with him. He saw my video at the music hall. He said, Rev, you want to sing that song with me when I come? I said, absolutely. And this young lady here with the come here, sweetie. Come here, babe. I'm singing it to her. I'm going to be singing it to you with that Motown record on. Okay. Next. I thought I also sent to you, Lakaya, the flyer from Monet's event. Okay, there it is. Therapy Walks. Tell us about this, Monet.
Therapy Walks. So we are going to be doing our group sessions outside. We're going to be congregating together to get you moving, to combat stress and depression, get some of that vitamin D and meet new people, kind of have an opportunity to express what you're going through. We have different topics each time we meet. So we're meeting 2 times a week, the second Tuesday of the month and the last Tuesday. This therapy walks, this time we're going to be discussing grief. So I know that has been a topic ongoing for a lot of people who are experiencing some sadness. And grief is not just the loss of a loved one. It also can be you lost your job. It could be a loss of a divorce, a relationship, a friendship. So we're talking about a variety of different griefs and how to cope with that. Is going to be another grief counselor present. We're going to do sound bowl, and then we're also going to do some yoga.
Well, good. That leads us into our introduction of Monet McClendon, who helps run the Well Wellness Guidance Center and has a plethora of other programs that we offer. You know, we believe that people ought to have access to some help. Anybody in this age and era who still believes that you don't need help, you need help, realizing you need help. There's nothing wrong with admitting that you need help. Even the strongest person can experience some weakness. So tell us all about you and what you do.
Oh, what I do. I'm a social worker first. I always lead with that outside of being a mother and a wife, but I'm also a mental health therapist and then the clinical director of the Wellness Center, where we offer a variety of different programs and mental health resources to the community that's free of service. So my ultimate goal is to destigmatize mental health and the support that, like he said, a lot of people feel like they don't need help or maybe don't even know where to start. So my ultimate goal is to
By the way, I don't want to interject, but the funny thing is, normally everyone else knows you need help, and the
accept
person
you.
needs help is the last one to know it
Yeah,
or to admit it.
yeah.
But that's why you need help, by the way, with intervention, talking to professional people to help you figure out how best to approach that person. Antagonizing them is not always necessarily the right way to do that.
But how about the people who think that they don't need help, the professionals?
Well, I mean, always that genre, heal thyself, So that is always, an issue. I mean, like as a pastor, I can lead people to all kind of paths, but if I've not walked down them myself,
Right.
but but that's for me. For me, I don't advise anybody to do anything that I've not done myself.
Mm.
I don't preach about stuff that I've not actually lived. I mean, I'm just not going to do that. But at any rate, Ed, you got, but give the therapy walks, by the way, is going to be, you do them how often?
2 times a month.
How you like that park I told you about?
I love it.
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
yeah, people don't know about it now. My dad built 50 homes on Antietam called Park East, and he owned land that he subsequently had to just relinquish because all the hoity-toity black folks moved in there, and they didn't want this 4-story complex in the corner nestled between our houses. But as a kid, I walked out there, and I should take dates out there on Friday night in the
I know it was
summertime.
something to it, Brad.
I'm just saying, have you been there at a nighttime yet?
No.
Go down at night and stand on the highest point. You can look down into downtown Detroit. It's amazing. And little known park, and so it's a great place for you to have a great place to have some serenity.
Yes,
So-
it is.
So is that our QR code or yours?
That's the Eventbrite?
Okay.
I believe. Yeah,
No,
that's the Eventbrite.
well, we've got everything on the app. That on there, and our QR code will take you straight to. Just get with Raven on that.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Ed.
Yeah. And being in the field that you are, I know that it's been a while, but my wife formed a group called WAR, Women at Rest. And
Women at Rest.
Women at Rest. And
Okay.
what it was about was teaching women how to relax and calm down and meditate.
Right.
So I'm saying with your therapy sessions, it sounds like you're pretty much on the same type of page.
Yes. And a little bit different is we had men present at the last one, and that was really powerful.
That wouldn't have worked for his wife. The reason she needed rest was because of him. Go ahead.
Probably so.
Women at rest from Ed. No.
Yeah, but and going along with those lines too, men would a lot of men would like to participate, but the major hangup is if a man is present, women seem to focus their attention on the men.
Well,
why you do this? How come you do that?
I think that from what I observed at this last event and the men being present, I think it brought a level of comfort. They wasn't so much focused on the men, but they were like, it was like a protective presence that was there, but then they were participating too. So it brought a little laughter seeing them trying to stretch them legs out and falling over. But it was encouraging too. It made people feel more comfortable, in my opinion.
Well,
Yeah.
that's good.
Well, you're outside, so having men present means you can relax and not worry
Mhm.
about environmental factors. Sabrina?
I love that you're walking with the community, and I'm loving that you're back here because we've been working with you. I mean, Davo really has been endorsing you and putting your programs out there. So I'm excited.
She's a part of Davo.
Absolutely, and absolutely a part of the Davo
She's
family.
developing the guidance center. But by the way, I mean we're doing those conferences. The D Win is contracted with us. We got so much going on. It's unbelievable.
Yes, and that's incredible.
Unfreaking believable. You know what that it is attributable to? I tell people all the time. I've told my daughter this all her life. Told my son this all her life. I tell everybody who wants to listen to me the same thing all my life. It can be the right what, but if you have the wrong who, the what never happens.
Yep.
God even withholds stuff based on who you got in your circle because he doesn't throw pearls, it's in the Bible, to swine. Go ahead.
That's right. So this therapy walk has developed into a therapy walk. So tell us what it is and really how people benefit from walking and talking and everything. It's been specially formulated for the people of Detroit.
Absolutely. The main thing that the Wellness Center that we talked about that we wanted to pilot was the fact that we were having group sessions. So people can kind of have that safe space to come in and to get that support. So my thought process was, for one, like Rev mentioned in the beginning, how you gonna? I'm constantly preaching something and teaching something, but I'm not pouring into my own self. A lot of times I'm providing that healing in the evenings and doing these therapy sessions. I realized that I'm not getting the physical activity and getting outside and not pouring back into my own cup. So how can I integrate the two? And then also do this with my clients who I'm constantly pushing this on them, because it that it decreases stress and anxiety. So I'm like, maybe if I show them, now we're talking about it, we're pinpointing the triggers and what needs to be done to help with these things. Maybe if I give you I actually show you and I do it with you, this will be another healing activity, and then implement the group with it. So I was combating all these things in one.
Yeah, so it's a great combination because when we exercise, by the way, it releases endorphins, right?
Absolutely.
I always tell people my greatest highs. Yeah, you know this. When we play football, we practice outside, right?
Right.
And you go back into the athletic facility, you take a shower, you come out, it's like 45 degrees, and you take that deep breath. It's nothing like it. So you get an opportunity to kind of slow your heartbeat down a little bit, relax, and really focus on some things that are really really important. Can you talk for a moment about how important it is for a checkup from the neck up?
Important. A lot of times that's where I start. You think that you could just coming into therapy and you're like, heal me now, fix me now. It's important to get a checkup first. A lot of times that we cannot start, you're not stable enough to even start these services until it could be something physically going on and you think that is depression. It could be the medications you taking. It could be the fact that it's something psychological, that you need some medications to stabilize you before we can even do therapeutic work. Let's be, if it's something mentally and physically going on with you, for you to concentrate and implement what I'm giving out.
I want to just give a shout out. We have returning citizens at New Destiny, and there are folks who work for Dabo who are returning citizens. So those of you who had the perp walk, come do a therapy walk.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
If you had a perp walk, come do a therapy walk.
Well, you know what? The whole concept of a therapy walk is really it's appealing to me, and the reason being, you're not confined in a small space. You have the whole world for you to be affected by. And being out, you feel free. You're not in any kind of jail, which can be a mental jail.
Ed, when are you gonna go?
When am I gonna go?
You need to go to the next one.
I meditate outside every day.
That's not what we asked you. When you
gonna
go
be
do
on
the
the
therapy
14th.
walk?
I'm telling you what I do. Now,
I'm telling you that you need to go do the walk.
Come on out.
I'll be in England, as you know. I leave on the 11th, and I've kind of people want to make fanfare. I'm going to Oxford, teach a class with a consortium of other folks from around the world on church and social change. Other than that, I'd be there. I'm coming to the next one.
The last one of the month, we are still going to be focused on grief because it's a hot topic, and people have reached out to me and they're like, that's
grief
what
is
they
the
want.
big issue.
So the last one, since we're doing a group session this time on the 14th, we're going to do a balloon release, a memorial.
Okay. And by the way, what I'm thinking about, we're working in process here because we're meeting with that major entity on the 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just thinking when I was I got to pull all of these kind of flyers and stuff that we can show them the group sessions and all the things that we're doing so we can connect with them. We're blessed that they just gave us a grant, to help do some other things, but they want to really partner long term. That's wonderful. And we do the work, man. We do the work over here, and I need therapy. I'm telling you the area I need therapy. Two things, right? That are my erroneous zones is what Dwyer called them. Erroneous zone. No, he called them erroneous. Erogenous is something different. You talking about you've been to your urologist yesterday. we talking about that, doc. Things that seem to affect us spiritually, right? One is for me, letting people have more power over my perspective than I do. Right? You know, I mean that they just get underneath my skin, they get on my nerve, you know, they love Jesus, can't stand nobody else. You know what I'm saying? And we all struggle with that, right? You know, and my grandma said, don't let somebody rent space in your world. You know what I mean?
Emotional regulation.
Evict them.
What
So
we were talking
so
about.
that's the other thing. The other thing that is one for me is the scale that people operate on, where everything they do is fine, but everything you do is wrong. In other words, they have an excuse or a rationale for everything that they do that doesn't make sense, but then can't tolerate anything you do that don't make sense to them. I don't know if I'm talking to somebody up in here.
You are.
You know what I mean? Like, I know a person, for example, that comes in the house and puts their stuff everywhere. Hello, somebody. Put their stuff all over the house and leave it there. But I come in the door and put a pair of shoes at the stairs
And it's
and they gone in 30 seconds. Hello,
Mm.
somebody. Y'all gonna talk to me up in here. I need therapy. I need to lay down on somebody's couch and tell me it's all right. I had a bad experience with therapy, but I've overcome it.
Okay.
When I was in college, I was very radical, organizing protests, trying to shut schools down. I was, of course, I was still at the age where I had a draft card, so I was very anti-war. And I got in a situation at Wayne, Gerald, where they demanded that I go to council and they're going to put me out of school. Because I was mad. And I went to right at David McKenzie Hall, is gone now. And they had a the guy was white gay therapist. And he just went a little too far in his therapy. Now he didn't touch me or nothing, but it was obvious that he had that in mind. Hello, somebody. Yeah, he you know what I'm saying? And like wait a minute. I just want to talk about in the context of people being careful about who they select, because there are many instances where people take advantage of people
Yes.
in moments of vulnerability.
Yes. So even like the conversation that's been going on about it's just like your physician. You have to do your research. This is a relationship. And just for one, make sure you find somebody who is licensed to do what you want to do. If you go to
Okay, let me ask you. I don't care. Is there someone you can check and see what
Yes.
comments people have or complaints they may have?
Well, we all have a license number.
Okay.
So if it's any type of derogatory sanctions on your license, you can look that up on the LARA website.
Okay. Right.
And then, of course, if that
LARA is State of Michigan
Yes.
Licensing and Regulatory Authority.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can look up their license number on there and see if it's any sanctions against them. Outside of that, you always Google it tells you a lot. People are we don't have any control over what somebody writes on Google, but you always want to take that too with a grain of salt. But when you do your intake session, that is your time to ask the questions that you want to get to know about your therapist. What do they specialize in?
So should you have to lay down on the couch anymore?
No, we're going.
They got rid of that. No, I'm just saying.
Taking a walk.
That was all part of the image of lay down.
And that's what I want to change.
Have you had any involvement with hypnotherapy?
No.
So Muma, what's that? Muma Uso. I forget her name. I gotta get her name. She's a really famous Grammy Award singing artist. Muma Fresh, who came and performed for us, and we really connected.
Okay.
And I'm just being transparent, and she said, "Man, you can't unload, man." So anyway, she sent me to Philadelphia to this hypnotherapist that a lot of significant folks use.
Okay.
Cedric, I went there 3 times, and literally every time I left, I felt like I had shedded 500 pounds.
Okay.
And then what she does is it's subsequent to the actual session, because you're not even cognizant of what you're saying. She walked me through every incident that were a benchmark in things that affected me that were still governing me. and I'm like, wow, I didn't know I still remembered that, it had that effect. So I just think that, and you don't necessarily have to go through hypnotherapy, but in the same way, what therapy does is really take the cover off of things.
But you know what? That kind of experience I had experience with sound bowl.
With what now?
With sound bowl, which is what we're doing.
Okay.
This my husband used to always try to teach me how to meditate, and I couldn't do it because my mind runs 24 hours a day.
No, you just didn't want to submit. But
no.
Go ahead. You're afraid he's gonna wave that wine, you know what I mean?
But one time I went to an experience that had sound bowl, and I was like, in the midst of it.
Spell that. Was it an acronym?
No.
It's called
sound bowl. SOUND bowl. BOW.
It's glass
sound bowl.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And I was annoyed initially. I was like, this noise, and then the next thing I know, I woke up. I think I woke up. I don't know what happened, but I felt, and since then, I really utilized that with grief. Because a lot of times people are like,
it's suppressed. Yes. You don't even know it's there. You don't even know that it's governing. When people say, wow, I didn't do all of that to get all of that, they don't know you bring in more than just what happened. You bring in a whole chronology, a whole history of things, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. See, I come from the age, Ed, I was in the transcendental meditation. Y'all remember TM? You don't remember that, Ed?
That
was a big thing.
Look at Hare Krishna.
Well, they were the ones that were most identified with it, but there was a whole therapeutic approach. I mean, I meditate. I really do. Like the last 2 days I've been home, I feel so much better. I wouldn't take Leverett's phone call because, whenever Leverett call you some nonsense, he takes you over the river and through the snow. He needs gas for his car. I got a new car. No, the car I got was, well, what did you want, Leverett? I need some money for gas. Last question. We got 2 minutes.
For sure. So,
how do people get in touch with you? Are you doing your own private work? You want them to just call through Dave?
Call me through Dave.
313-491-0003, 313-491-0003. You want to be a part of this great wellness guidance center and all the stuff we're about to do with Health Home and so much more. Athena?
Oh, my goodness. Hello. Okay. So walking and talking and then unearthing, because we talk about the work that has to be done. And for a long time, people are like, you got to do the work. You got to do the work. And I'm like, what work are we talking about? And how does it look? And what does it feel like? And I think even what Red was saying, like that hypnotic state brings out a lot of what happens. And so therapeutically, does that like help you to get where you need to go?
We got 30 seconds.
Is that the work?
I think, like you said, the first thing is, for one, doing the work is showing up.
That's right.
That's the first part.
Well, and the other thing is knowing that there's something that needs to be adjusted.
But maybe you don't even know until you get there.
Well, I don't know. We can have that didactic dialogue in the future. I ain't gonna lie to you. I've always known when something was wrong with me. Now I wore it well, and I would put it on you, but I really knew it was me. I just didn't want to do the work. We'll be right back after this.
You've been listening to.
Here's the wake up call with Reverend Horace Sheffield. Rise up, wake up, let the truth be told. The wake up call.
July 8th, all roads lead to the Aretha Franklin Amphitheater for a jazzy night with Melanie Fiona.
And he kills me.
With Durant Bernard. Then, July 15th, Kelly Price with Chico DeBarge. Tickets on sale now. Available at Ticketmaster.com in the Aretha box office. Presented by Chase.
Over a century ago, DTE Energy made a promise to serve our community by illuminating spaces and lighting up faces, by keeping homes glowing and good times rolling. You in winter, by keeping bills as low as possible while improving reliability. And in 2025, we delivered our most reliable service in nearly 2 decades. Our promise is to our friends and neighbors, and it's one we will always keep. DTE.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your man, Mike Epps, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from Reverend Sheffield. Make sure you get yours.
I've Hester Wheeler, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from Reverend Horace Sheffield.
Every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on 101.5 FM or 1500 AM, the wake-up call with the Reverend Horace Sheffield.
This is Super Bowl champion Lomas Brown, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from Reverend Horace Sheffield, my man.
This is Groveland Kings, and I get my wake-up call from Reverend Horace Sheffield every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on 101.5 FM or 1500 AM, the wake-up call with the Reverend Horace Sheffield.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's your girl, Randy Rosario, comedian and TV host. I get my Saturday wake-up call with my guy, Reverend Horace Sheffield. Think about it today.
I'm Sheriff Raphael Washington, Wayne County, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up every Saturday morning from Reverend Horace Sheffield, and you should too.
Every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on 101.5 FM or 1500 AM, the wake-up call with the Reverend Horace Sheffield.
July 8th, all roads lead to the Aretha Franklin Amphitheater for a jazzy night with Melanie Fiona.
And it kills me.
With Duran Bernard. Then, July 15th, Kelly Price. With Chico DeBarge. Tickets on sale now. Available at Ticketmaster.com in the Aretha box office. Presented by Chase.
You've been listening to.
All right, where my people at?
Here's the wake-up call.
Y'all get up and make some noise.
With Reverend Horace Sheffield.
Hey, y'all sitting down. Shut up, Miss Vidal.
The truth be told, the wake-up call.
Here we go, y'all. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go, y'all. Come on, move them bodies.
It's the wake-up call.
All right, we're live in Living Color. By the way, I want you to know that we have some water we're going to be passing out, courtesy of DTE, to beat the heat. If you haven't gotten a case of the water so far this week, you can take one today. Miss McClendon, make sure you guys take some water for your event. Take a few cases for that. All right, Mr. America came in here dressed like he's celebrating the 250th year. Looks like he spent half of them here. Okay, now hold up a second, man. Don't spin like that. We're going to make us think something else. All right, we're blessed to have a known quantity, a known entity. If you're on Instagram or any other form of social media, you know you see Danny Harini everywhere. He's the Director of Governmental and Community Development for Team Wellness. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. Such an honor to be here. You know, I've been sitting here for the last, 30 minutes watching the show, and I got to tell you, this is a different type of show.
Oh, yeah. It's great, man. It's a great show. We're expanding things. We're launching our own network, Detroit Community Network. Our news and our views will be 24 hours, 7 days a week. We're connecting with a few other networks around the country, IPTV, et cetera. And, Roland Martin, Jamal Bryant, working with Reverend Sharpton, all those programs to be on our format. And you can go live. We got a grant. We're building out a really live studio down the street. But that's going to be major because we'll have our own TV network. I mean, basically getting the word out about people like you and things that are going on.
But I just think it's amazing, and it's an important part to own your message.
Yeah.
And I think it's important for people in the city of Detroit to have somebody who's delivering an honest message to the residents.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's like, I remember Jim Ingram and the drum beat commentary. That might be before your time.
Yeah, a little bit.
But Jim Ingram really created a whole marketing, commodity, just having that drum beat commentary. So tell us a little bit about you. You have an interesting background. You started on the bottom, now you're on the top.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Danny Harani. I am
Harani. There you go.
Harani. Yeah. I'm the Director of Community Development and Governmental Affairs for Team Wellness Center. We are the largest mental health provider in the state of Michigan. We're an integrated care network. What that means is we treat the whole body. It's not just mental health. Although we're the largest mental health provider, we also know that your body, your physical health deals with your mental health. And so we treat, physical health services, dental health services. We do have 24/7 crisis intervention, 2 different locations both on East Detroit and one in Westland.
Yeah. And don't let me forget, I want to partner with you. We have a new health home contract with D-Win to provide primary care services.
We can bring our mobile clinic right to you.
Yeah, but what I want to do is integrate that with you. We'll talk about that because we're going to have about, there's 18,000 eligible people who are not being served, who can be served, but they need what you do in addition to the physical stuff that we do. Question.
Yep, providers need to meet the people where they are. Absolutely. So let me know more about your role. I mean, we know about some of the services, but what is it that you do as a director of governmental affairs and community development?
So my job is literally to do the things like I'm doing today, coming out here, talking to the people, removing the stigma when it comes to mental health. There's a stigma with mental health. I know you guys just talked about it earlier. So we try to address that to make sure that people understand that having a therapist doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. It just means that you need somebody to talk to who is not going to criticize you. So I come out into the community and, I support all the different, community organizations like Dable, like Reverend.
How many have not seen him somewhere in some form of social media? Not you, not the social butterfly who creates their own episodes. Danny's everywhere, man. I mean, he's got a little crew of cast of characters. They're 3 deep, but yeah, he's everywhere, man, and he represents team wellness very well. Ed?
Yes.
By the way, how do people reach your entity, and what services might they access?
They can access. They can literally call our 1-800 number.
Okay.
1-800-813-TEAM. They can call us at any given time, and we will. Our call center will respond to whether it's mental health, physical health, dental.
Right.
And we take every type of insurance, including Medicaid.
Okay.
We have a beautiful, and I mean beautiful, child and adolescent center we just built on East Jefferson.
Yeah, you bought that older facility, right?
Yeah, we bought used to be a dialysis center.
Yeah, right. It's right there near Irma Henderson Park or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's right across from the water department.
Yeah,
It's a little bit east of
yeah.
Belle Isle, but
Yeah.
it's state of the art,
Right.
one of a kind.
Yeah.
We invested a lot of money.
Yeah, I see it all the time. That sat there for quite a while.
Yeah.
Done a great job. You got your signs flashing.
Yeah. So, listen, we have a tremendous new mayor, and she is
Who is that?
The great Mary Sheffield.
Well, you were very much a part of that campaign.
I love her. She is my sister.
Yeah.
And we focus very hard on rebuilding, and she's focused on times. Wow, you guys built this, beautiful center over here on the east side of Jefferson, which a lot of people don't like to go past Belle Isle. But let me tell you something. Detroit is on the rise. That neighborhood is gorgeous, and our mayor is focused on the neighborhoods.
Space and opportunity.
Yes.
Yep.
So we're happy to partner.
Glad to have you, Ed.
Well, you know what? I'm really intrigued by your programming because you incorporate not just the mind but the body as well. And most of us don't realize how those two have to vibrate or vibe together.
Well, anybody that grew up loving my good friend Eddie Levert, who's done concert.
Yeah.
Did you come? You didn't come to the concert. Eddie was here.
No.
Yeah. So he said your body's over here,
Yeah.
but your mind is on the other side of town.
Right. And see, it's more or less you're providing a one-stop shop.
Yeah.
Anything that you
Wellness.
need, wellness, but
Anything
that's what-
wellness related.
But it's still the same thing because if you're,
And are you getting a consistent message today?
am I getting a consistent?
Yeah, maybe it's time for your checkup from the neck up.
And I hear you, but I do that, and I'm gonna tell you what.
Yeah, but you keep telling me you do it. You do it. You need to go
Listen.
somebody to know how to do it.
Well, this is not something that just happened.
I know.
I've been doing it for years, and
I
I
hear
call it listening to the breeze. Take time to take a breath and appreciate all that's
But
around you.
But see, Ed's been shooting the breeze a long time,
Okay.
so I hope that's not the breeze you listening to. What's the question for you?
Okay, so you're taking all types of insurances and things like that. Well, a lot of our seniors, and I don't know if you have a connection with this or will soon have one, but do you guys provide transportation?
Yeah, we have transportation at all our locations. Every week, whether it's our child adolescent center, we have vans in all our different locations that will provide transportation for all our members. Over on the east side, we have what's called, I don't want to call it a shelter because it's an overnight program. Mac Mount Elliott is our main location where we have our 24/7 crisis unit. We also have an overnight program. So if you are getting mental health services from us and you're suffering from housing instability, we never want to say homelessness, we allow you to stay there. We provide you with 3 meals a day, showering facilities. We have a clothing closet. I collect clothes all the time for our members, and we try to make you self-independent. And it's very important for us that that's done with respect and dignity.
Yeah. Are you part of the D-Win provider network?
So D-Win is like, I don't want to say they're our boss, but they're like our boss.
Yeah, we're funded by D-Win.
Yeah,
as
so
well,
we're under D-Win. Anybody who received Medicaid and you want mental health services, you got to go through the D-Win access line. And we're great partners.
But they can come to you directly too, though.
Yeah, but we still got to put them through the access line to get approved through the services. People come to us. We have peer specialists and engagement specialists that will help them get through that process. We work real close with Chief White. He's trying to, change the culture over at D-Win and make it more efficient and effective. And we love that. He's been doing a great job.
He was on, I was the guest host on WJR this past Monday with Lloyd Jackson. And I had him as one of my guests. And in fact, he texted me later on because I wanted to make it real clear because there are people out here in this community. Well, how's he doing that? He was the chief. The man is a licensed professional counselor, has a master's of social work. He has credentials. Yeah, this is what he does.
He didn't get that job just because.
Right.
He got that job because he was qualified.
But I'm saying, and he has the qualifications and history in that area.
Yeah. And I think people just didn't understand. And
no, they don't. They just thought he was a police chief.
Yeah.
He came up through the ranks.
He's the one that started the crisis intervention team over with the police department. That was his focus. Yeah. So he knew that law enforcement and mental health go together.
So this is the 4th of July, and there are fireworks at Fairlane Mall. There was what do you do with respect that's affected by, just gatherings? I mean, holidays.
I mean, our line is always open for that. So we will respond to any type of crisis, any type of request. We work very close with different police agencies, sending out co-responders. So our therapist responds with the crisis intervention teams that they have out there. And that's very important for us. The shooting in Dearborn was heartbreaking. And it was, from my understanding, just this morning, listening to some of the news, you're talking about young kids again. And, once again, there's not just, 3 lives, the 3 individuals that were lost. Whoever did the shooting, their lives were lost as well.
And everybody that's attended to that family,
and it's a devastating loss. And I'm sure it could have been avoided. If somebody just could have.
I think one of the main issues that we have is we don't know how to respond to conflict in peaceful ways. And people have been taught, how to do that. And come on over here, Joe. I want to bring you into the conversation. But here's what I say, Danny. I say that, we look down on these people and, we don't understand why they're doing that. But the only difference between some of them and us is we use words, they use bullets.
Yeah.
I mean, we shooting at folks, ain't we?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I think this is, there's a thing called the ABCs of cognitive behavior.
Right.
And I think that hasn't been taught enough. People don't understand that the ABCs, which would be your activating event, the B would be your beliefs, and the C would be your consequences.
Right.
And when you address those, you have to ask, I always like to ask when I was teaching, ask students and say, hey, what one can you control out of the A, the B, or the C? Which one do you think it is, Sabrina?
B.
B, there you go.
Behavior.
It's your belief. Because you can't control the activating event, but you can control how you interpret the activating event, and you can't control the consequences. That shooting yesterday is going to have repercussions far beyond. Families have been destroyed yesterday. So
let me do this real quickly. It's a completely different thing, but it is wellness because to the degree that people could have fun and something different. We've been blessed to launch the Detroit Talent Showcase. It's going to be airing live on TV on WADL, 2-hour show. We have people coming from Ohio and Illinois, cash prizes. We have a special artist. And so reached out to Danny. I mentioned to you that Team Williams is going to be one of our sponsors. Gerald, just tell a little bit about what might happen with that and even how that's therapeutic. That's why we do what we do with the entertainment series.
Yeah.
That's why I got Earthquake coming. This ain't no joke, and we're tying that to prostate cancer and tying that to, people doing what they need to do to take care of themselves.
Yeah, monthly. I'm on, David.
you're on, yes.
Monthly, there's going to be starting July 16th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. on WADL. We're going to premiere the Detroit Talent Showcase. That's going to showcase talent here locally in the city of Detroit. So many people that can rap, sing, and I think the age is Rev is from 5 until adulthood.
Yeah, we had a guy bring his fat wife. She was like 600 pounds. I said, what does she do? He says he sits up with my help. That's the whole show, getting her up. Go ahead.
I have no comeback for that.
That was entertainment. I told the guy, I said, wait, Deacon will never really be here in a moment. He loves fat women. He'll get her up.
Tune in, WADL, My TV 38.
And by the way,
July
I'm competing as the comedian. Who's up next, Ed or Sabrina? Serena, go ahead.
We're going to judge him, right?
I want to actually go ahead and give Danny a few flowers because since the moment, I don't even remember when I met you. You're always out and about. You know everybody I know. But Danny is one of those people, you see him in public and he's exactly who you saw everywhere else.
I just asked you that. You act like you know what I was talking about.
What was the question?
That's exactly what I just said 5 minutes ago,
I'm
Sabrina.
just affirming and reassessing.
And I'm just affirming that sometimes you need counseling because you're in your own world. Go ahead.
I appreciate Danny for being there for the people of the public, and I see you active every single time I see you. You're doing something progressive in that way, and so my question is,
and don't take it as a slight that she has to look down and not look up to you. She looks because she's taller than all of us. Go ahead.
Well, listen,
except for you.
Yeah.
But my question really is about when you do have an encounter with somebody who needs crisis intervention, or you end up being around someone who may not realize that the help they need is just beyond the call. How do you help those people in those proud situations to understand that they need to be, they need to go, they need to be helped?
I think the first thing you have to do is make them to, and just to make sure everybody knows, I am not a clinician. If it gets too clinical, I'll reach out to my clinical staff. I usually never answer clinical questions. I reach out to our COO or our executive vice president of clinical services. They, Pam Lamb and Liz, they know a lot better when it comes to clinical questions than Danny Harani does.
Right.
But I will say this. I think a lot of times I work with a lot of returning citizens. You guys, you know that because of my story. And so a lot of them, many times, have suffered through some PTSD from their incarceration. They went through some serious things. They've seen some serious things. I saw some very serious things when I was incarcerated. And it's very important that we make them understand that, a therapist does not mean that something's wrong with you. There's a huge stigma inside of a prison system when it comes to mental health. People think there's something wrong with you. You're weak, you're soft. And so I address that and tell them, listen, the therapist is just somebody to listen to that's not going to criticize you. It's not your girlfriend telling you, hey, you're not the guy you used to be. And I think that's a lot of problems for guys coming home. If they left as a baller and they're coming back making, $10, $20, $25 an hour, it's hard. The adjustment's hard. And so we have to make sure they understand that it's okay to have a therapist. It's just somebody to talk to encourage you, to walk you through some of the challenges that you might face that's not going to criticize you.
Yeah, so one of the things that I deal with, and I help D win when we have our faith conference, and I came up with the theme, chasing circumstances or changing conditions, and I talk about prayer plus, because we, in my profession, sometimes want to lay hands on folks or put oil, Jesus told them to go show themselves to the priests. So they're professional people who've been trained, right? Doesn't take away from the power of God. God can do a lot of things, but sometimes he does that through other folks who've been gifted to help you make this journey better, right? So that's what I mean by prayer plus. And so if you're listening today, there is no stigma. There is nothing wrong with you. I have people in my family who have mental health issues, who take medications. Long journey to get them to that point is no different than me, who is a type 2 diabetic, who I can say to you today takes one pill, a glipizide, 10 milligram a day, when I was taking 2 forms of insulin, 4 forms of medication. I got up this morning, my blood sugar was 136. Okay. Every morning, my blood pressure, sometimes 102, and she said, you're losing weight. Weight has something to do with that as well, because I don't want to be on medications that are going to affect my kidneys. But I'm just saying to people, look, There's nothing wrong with you. I mean, there are things that we develop. There are things that become biological, psychological, and so team wellness, which I love the name, is we want you to be whole. We want you to be well. We want you to find people who can help you. And the number again, Danny?
1-888-813-TEAM.
Yeah, 1-800-813-TEAM. You know, get some help, you know. And I think that holidays exacerbate things, particularly when they relate to families.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you made a very, very, very important point. And the reason that we're integrated care is that we know that diabetes affects mental health. Your blood pressure affects your mental health. Your if you have you can walk into our clinic and talk.
And I don't mean to interrupt you, but I can tell you as a pastor, in relationships that men have not taken care of their blood pressure or their blood sugar, it affects their continence. They can't get an erection. Come on now.
Yeah.
Are you with me? And then they don't want to take the medication, so they really is exacerbating one thing to try to keep something else in place. And I'm just saying to you, all this can be addressed, man. You get your blood sugar under control, you get your blood pressure under control, and we're in a society now. You take a pill for the pill you took, for the pill you took, for the pill you need to take.
So yeah, it's 100%. And again, don't forget also your dental health.
Yeah.
If you're suffering from a terrible toothache, you can be sitting with the therapist and she can be talking to you about your situation.
Yeah.
But if your tooth hurting really
You
bad,
ain't paying attention.
You ain't paying attention at all.
Yeah.
So that's why it's important for us to have a one-stop shop at our clinic. You
I
can
got
literally
it.
walk right next door
And everything is
get your
there.
teeth fixed and walk right
All
back.
things to all people according to their needs.
How much does it cost?
Hold on a second. And you have a person, this is what's important. You have a person who has been there and understands what it takes to get somewhere else, right? And so you have the compassion. I'm talking about you now.
Yeah.
You have the compassion for people who present themselves in one way and don't necessarily know how to leave a different way, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. They leave well. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No worries. This all sounds incredible. I'm wondering what the cost is like.
So we take every type of insurance coverage. We do have grants that cover some different
Some uncompensated care.
Yeah. And then listen, we don't turn anybody away. That's literally team.
Hey man,
wellness
make sure
centers.
make sure we get a picture of you like this, right? Isn't that great? That's a great
I
background.
love it. Listen, so it's very important. Our calling card at Team Wellness Center is we turn nobody away. Our CEO, Tony Policello, a long time ago, made that the vision for the company. And just to tell you what a great guy Tony is, I told you about our overnight program. He'll walk in there and ask them to give him what they fed the members today. And it better be good or someone's gonna get fired. Like, he'll eat it.
Hey, by the way, let me just tell you about
Quality
this photo
control.
that I just got a glimpse of. They were wondering what they were going to do with the middle tower of the Wrench Center. We now have a towering personality there.
Listen, we love Detroit. Detroit is beautiful. This show is great. It's always
Well, just so you know, what the sponsorship we're talking about will also encompass this.
Yes.
Getting your people on, talking about your programs. One of the things we found, Danny, that really helps with this, and this is a scant crowd because it's the holiday, and I refuse not to do this, is that when you bring people who've actually benefited from these things, that firsthand, testimony goes much further than the person who provided the service. So, if you have some clients, that would really work.
I would definitely.
So
reach
I
out.
think we have, how much time we have, Gerald? About a minute or so?
3.
Just again, give us kind of 2 minutes. Give us a wrap up of Team Wellness, what you offer, what they can expect, and why you want them to come to you.
So we're located throughout the Wayne County area. We're in Southgate. We're on the east side of Detroit. We're in Eastern Market. We provide, 24/7 care for crisis intervention. You can call us. We'll come pick you up. If you're in crisis, if you have a family member in crisis, you can call us. Our vehicles will come get you and bring you down. You can just walk in and say, hey, I need help. And we'll treat you right there. No one's going to turn you away. If someone does turn you away, you call me personally. And that will be addressed, I promise. We do provide mental health and physical health services. We have a beautiful child and adolescent center that provides vaccinations. We are having a free lead testing event on July 11th between 11 and 3 p.m. We'll have bounce houses. We will have free food, free ice cream, just a bunch of fun for the kids over there at our child adolescent center.
Let me chime in on lead. there is a non-disclosure agreement with a major school district, but I happen to know the people who filed the lawsuit, so I'll tell you that Detroit has one of the highest levels of lead in our water, and our children, 77% of the kids come to our school system have had lead exposure.
Yeah.
What are the two major symptoms of lead poisoning? Lack of attentiveness and aggression. We're wondering why our kids are off the hook. They're lead poisoned. Chicago, LA, they came up with mitigation programs where they tested the kids. We're not even testing our kids.
Yeah, so we'll be testing them all.
Well, I'm saying it's a great thing because we don't even, my kid tearing my house up. Hell, he probably lead poisoned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. All right. Let me get off that soapbox. And I told my daughter that you need to have a major lead. When I was a kid, lead poison was a big thing because kids ate
The paint.
chips.
Yeah.
You know, what are the things the heat come out of? What do you call them?
The radiator.
The radiators, all of that. Anyway, hey, don't lose your mind. If you do, you can borrow mine. We'll be right back after this.
You've been listening to
Here's the wake up call with Reverend Horace Sheffield. Rise up, wake up, let the truth be.
July 8th, all roads lead to the Aretha Franklin Amphitheater for a jazzy night with Melanie Fiona.
And he kills me,
with Duran Bernard. Then July 15th, Kelly Price with Chico DeBarge. Tickets on sale now. Available at Ticketmaster.com in the Aretha box office. Presented by Chase.
Over a century ago, DTE Energy made a promise to serve our community by illuminating spaces and lighting up faces, by keeping homes glowing and good times rolling, by cooling you in summer and warming you in winter, by keeping bills as low as possible while improving reliability. And in 2025, we delivered our most reliable service in nearly 2 decades. Our promise is to our friends and neighbors, and it's one we will always keep. DTE.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your man Mike Epps, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from Reverend Sheffield. Make sure you get yours.
I'm Hester Wheeler, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from Reverend Horace Sheffield.
Every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on 101.5 FM or 1500 AM, the wake-up call with Reverend Horace Sheffield.
July 8th, all roads lead to the Aretha Franklin Amphitheater for a jazzy night with Melanie Fiona.
And he kills me,
with Duran Bernard. Then July 15th, Kelly Price with Chico DeBarge. Tickets on sale now. Available at Ticketmaster.com in the Aretha box office. Presented by Chase.
You've been listening to
Here's the wake up call with Reverend Horace Sheffield. Rise up,
Where my people
wake
at?
up, let the truth be told. The wake
Come on,
up
Harris,
call.
rock with us. Come on. Put them hands in the air, waving like you just don't care. If you don't have deodorant on, pull them down.
Wake up call with Reverend Horace Sheffield. Rise up,
All right, we're having a great morning.
wake up,
We're
let
on
the
the
truth
4th
be
of July,
told. The wake up.
celebrating the 250th anniversary of the United States of America. And people have rediscovered Frederick Douglass. What does the 4th of July mean to the American slave? I'm a Frederick Douglass scholar, learned him in high school, read everything he ever wrote. In fact, one of the most important things you need to know is that he became such a learned person because he was a slave in Maryland outside of Baltimore, and the slave master's wife was teaching him to read, Gerald. And the slave master got mad, and he overheard the argument between the two. And the slave owner said to his wife, if you continue to teach young Frederick how to read, you'll forever unfit him to be a slave. He knew then what his path to freedom was. He took his food that he earned, scraps of food that were left over, took them into Baltimore and traded pieces of paper, newspaper with urchins, urchins and bootblacks. That was part of the Industrial Revolution that made people homeless, little kids homeless from child labor laws. And at any rate, it's a fascinating story. Do you know that no person of his era in that century had more pictures taken of him than him? Not Abraham Lincoln, not any of the industrialists. There are more photographs of Frederick Douglass than any person in America in that century. That's history for you for 250 years. How you like that, my brother? Welcome to the show, Marcel Santis.
Thank you.
Is that right?
That's correct.
And you're chairman of the board, I guess, at Community Home and Support, CHS.
I am.
We've had a great history with them coming. And tell me how you like what you do.
You know, I love it. I've been there now 15 years.
Okay.
And I think I started about a year after the organization was founded.
Okay.
First meeting was 4 board members. First year we had $800,000 in revenue, and we actually had a small deficit. So we've grown enormously since then. Proud of the work we've done, the work we've continued to do in the community, and we continue to grow.
Well, you got to give us the contrast. 800,000 small deficit, 4 board members. Where are we now?
We're looking at about 6.1 million this year.
Okay.
And we went from a staff of probably 10 or so to 40 plus, and
wow.
interns on top of that. So
well, we moved in this building in 1994. We were on Oakman and Grand River. When I came home in 84 to join my dad, Dable's revenue was $25,000 a year. There were no full-time employees. 2025, we did 4.9 million. We got 30 people working for us. So we're trying to get like you guys. We'll get there in a moment. But the great part of it is in that expansion, really the work you've done and the people that you help. Let's talk about that real quick.
Absolutely. We work very hard to provide support services to individuals that are experiencing homelessness, and we look to place them into secure housing going forward, an environment that they can afford to continue to live in.
Yep.
And the supportive services that we provide help them then stay in that permanent housing and not go back out on the streets. So we go out both on the streets looking for homeless individuals.
So you don't expect them just to come to you?
Not necessarily, no, they can. They come to us through the coordinated action model where they can reach out and get assistance through an 800 number. And we do actually go out with teams that go out on the street looking for individuals who are homeless, unhoused on the streets. We also go out to shelters and we assist people that are in the shelters to apply for housing.
So you're trying to stabilize their housing.
Yeah, absolutely trying to stabilize their housing and hopefully keep them in permanent housing long term.
So quick question before we open up to my co-host. Where are we now in terms of the trends of homelessness in Detroit?
Definitely increasing, right? Across the country, it's increasing everywhere. As we all know, prices are getting higher. Things are getting more unaffordable. People that work multiple jobs potentially can't afford housing still. And we don't have housing expense levels here like there are in other areas of the country. But it's still not what you would call affordable for many, many people. And if you're working a job or even multiple jobs that are minimum wage, you're not going to be able to.
It's the working poor, and when years ago when I coined that phrase, people on my board didn't like it, but we see in this zip codes that we serve, for example, 22% of the people in 4204, 227, and 35 don't have running water. Live in a home, but don't have running water. So we've brought portable showers on our parking lots, and change of clothes. People just don't have any idea the degree to which this economy is affecting. Because you think of homeless people, often think they made choices or, they have mental health. We're talking about people who have a design, right, to be responsible, but don't have the means to be so.
Correct. Yes. There's certainly a lot of substance abuse issues, right? And mental health issues out on the street, but there are plenty of people that
don't have any of those indices.
Exactly right. And
except not enough money.
Correct. I think that people don't realize that not only can you work a couple of jobs and not be able to afford stable housing, but also how difficult it is to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're working out of your car,
Yeah.
how do you change into a uniform for
Yeah.
work? How
Yeah.
do you shower? How do you get prepared to go for an interview?
So I'm going to turn the number. So this is my last point. You know, we had my final meeting yesterday, and we're literally breaking ground in weeks on our first 4 or 5 units over here. We've acquired property. We've already taken 3 houses that were empty and made them, livable with people in them. And so in the conversations we've had, because most of the folks who've come to me want to partner me, they want to sell $300,000 homes in Detroit. And the reality is, if we don't really do the affordable housing, then Detroiters who've been here long-term are not going to be able to stay here. But anyway, that's a whole nother issue.
For sure. Yeah. And there's a youth issue with homelessness. And I think it is important for people to realize when you look at someone on the street that may be unhoused, and we don't know how they got there, we don't know what their conditions are or their circumstances. And then we also have children that are involved in these statistics. And so when it comes down to it, what are the main catalysts and what are who are the main people coming in?
Well, we do get youth coming in. We actually have a youth program that we started, I think it's a little over a year ago now. And we have youths 18 and up, younger adults that are unhoused or at risk. And we do run a program where they can come in. The building we're in as graciously, one of the other tenants has allowed us to use their space on Wednesdays. And so the youth program kids can come in on Wednesdays and they can get support and information on things like, how do you work with your finances? We partner with local banks, for example. How can you prepare food? How can you stay stable? And then, of course, we provide supportive services for them to make sure that they stay housed.
Awesome.
Okay, at this point in time, with any programs, you have goals.
Yes.
So your goals starting today, what are your short-term and your long-term goals going to be?
Short-term and long-term goals. So, we have a 3-year strategic plan, actually. And obviously, we're looking to grow the organization. We've been growing at about a 10% annual rate. We'd like to continue doing so. We're looking to expand the services that we offer in terms of the number of people that we service, not looking to increase the programs that we've had. We've done that in years past. We've gone into other areas. We used to provide home care and things like that, and turned out to really be good work, but difficult and more of a distraction from our core work that we do. The work that we do with HUD and in the housing space, we do very well in. We've scored consistently above 95% in our HUD scores, where they rate us in the work that we do. So we don't want to get away from that. We do own, by way of a really excellent partner of ours, Sinair, who used to be our neighbor in our old building. And we made quite a good partnership with them. And they had an 11-unit apartment building that they were able to help us acquire through them. And so we own that apartment building in Northwest Detroit. And we cannot place our own clients there, but we do other agencies can place their clients there. So we run that apartment building, and that's an aspect that has taught us about what it is to be a landlord, and what it is to deal with people who don't necessarily take care of their apartment, right? And maybe don't necessarily make their rent payments. And of course, they're getting assistance. But we do have to deal with that and evictions and things like that. So it's an area that has taught us a lot about what we do, and it's allowed us, I think, to partner better with landlords. So we've done an event now, I think it's twice, where we had a day where the landlords could come in and actually talk to each other, and then clients can come in and talk to the landlords and so on. And so we can find out where are the units available and what's available for people to rent. And so it's a partnership more between us and the landlords. And I think that is the fact that we own that building has helped quite a bit in that space. It's also allowed us to do some volunteer work in that space, like cleaning up the property. We own a couple of parcels behind it, and cleaning up not only the property, but fixing up the apartment building itself and then the lots behind us and so on.
Okay, well, we've got a question from our studio audience.
Sure.
State your name, please. And
Name is Glenda McGadney, and I know a young man, 30 years old, with 2 children in a shelter. But he's also, through Detroit Works, has been taking an 8-week course on HVAC, which is that heating,
Air conditioning.
air conditioning. He's got 3 more weeks to go. They give him a stipend, give him a gas card. Do you all let the residents who are in the temporary shelters know about, opportunities in the community? Also, he's taken a course. He just got a certificate with the housing home buyer program. He's qualified for up to $25,000. He has a part-time job trying to get a full-time. Do you all let the residents know about these different resources?
That's really great to hear. We are more in the area of directing people who have needs to resources that can help them, as opposed to directly informing them.
Well, by the way, most of the stuff she talks about, we do here. $25,000 down payment, which my daughter extended without ARPA money, et cetera. All of those things we're doing. There's a big issue, by the way, on the $25,000. People doing affordable housing are having issues, and they can pre-select who they choose, because some of these people are getting $25,000. They're making marginal money, just barely enough to afford a house, and they walk away within a year. So the people who are doing this don't want to even use that. That's a whole other issue.
Yeah.
But I'm fortunate enough that I can lay down at night and call my daughter and tell her these things, right? That, it's a great program, but the problem you have is that the builder gets to choose who they allow to have that, right? Based on whether or not they think they can afford the house and stay in it long term. Look, homelessness is an issue in the city of Detroit. I go to California, I'm in LA. If anybody goes there, it's not as bad here as it is, at least the visibility of it isn't the same.
Correct.
What's the difference really between what we see in places like that, where it's just becoming, the governor out there, the mayor out in LA, bless her heart, has just been catching hell over this issue because it's so visible, right? But I guess what I'm asking you is not as visible here, but it's still a problem. What's the difference between there and here? And, is there any difference in trying to remedy it based on not having the visibility of it?
There was an article that the New York Times, the LA Times did about 2 years ago on this. I think one of the main things is just a large stock of vacant housing that we have. That we had.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's another issue, because they've gotten rid of almost everything in the land bank, demolished everything that needed to be torn down. So now you have lots, and that's why there's such a shortage of really affordable houses. It's complicated things.
Right. Let me correct that a little bit. I guess what I would say is that there's a large stock of housing that's inadequate.
Right.
There's a lot of people occupying housing that's not adequate.
Not
And
up to
I
code,
would
yeah,
say that
yeah.
those people are in a place not meant for human habitation.
There you go.
If you don't
Right.
have any water, if you got
Right.
mold and mildew and
Right.
holes in your
Right.
roof,
And you got a blue tarp on it, and
tarp
you got to
is
go from
ragged.
room to room based on whether the rain comes from the east or the west.
And it's the best they can do. It's kind of sad.
Yeah, so here, I'm obviously a fan of my daughter's. Here's again, I think the most seminal thing she said in Mackinac to the corporate people is getting people's level of economic stability and income up really helps all of you folks who are trying to sell homes and trying to rent apartments and all the stuff you're trying to do in this town. You're not going to do it with a population that is poor, right? We got to build the wealth base and the income base of residents to be able to afford these things, right? So look, homelessness. I've always had this question, what comes first, the egg or the chicken? And I'm an avid reader, so I've read all kinds of theories on this stuff. I guess what I'm trying to ask you is, you mentioned obviously mental health, and we deinstitutionalize people under England, all that. What is to you the prevalent cause, aside from mental health and substance use disorders, of homelessness? We touched on it a little bit. It's income. Is it sometimes I've dealt in my church, for example, my friend, with people who family situations became volatile and they had nowhere to go.
Yeah, I think one of the overarching themes across, whether it's youth, middle-aged adults or seniors is trauma, veterans, trauma. I think that's something you'll see across the board. It's a mixture of things. I don't know that you necessarily have to have a mental illness to be suffering from the effects of trauma. And so many people in the city, so many of our young people, unfortunately, are going through this, and it makes it hard to be functional and do things
right,
in the right way. And so I think that part of what we try to do is get people into homes and provide supportive services to help them overcome that trauma.
Yeah, the trauma is real life for me, ain't been no crystal stair. I think Job said, man that is born of a woman but a few days and full of trouble, right? Longfellow said, ounce of joy to a pound of trouble, a crust of bread, a corner to sleep in because the pains come double. I don't think that's never been the case. I'm still trying to grapple with, because as a child growing up in Detroit, I mean, factory workers had homes. They were wooden frame homes, whatever. I'm just trying to figure what is it about now, my brothers, that makes this so much voluminous and so broad that it's you're almost like biting at the elephant, right?
We had unions back then, and the unions had much more penetration, if you will, right into the working community. You also had a lot more manufacturing jobs that could support a
higher wage,
right.
higher paying job. I mean,
a reasonably high paying job, right? At least well enough to live in a working class neighborhood. And you mentioned income, but there's the other side of income, which is the cost of living.
Yeah.
Fortunately, our cost of living here is fairly reasonable. Let's couch that a little bit, but it's not as bad as LA, right?
Yeah, but look, man, listen, when I came out of high school, Ed would tell you could move into Palmer Park and get a 3-bedroom in a nice brick apartment for $250.
Right.
Yeah, my first flat.
I don't think you can get anything in Detroit under $1,000 now, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just a sheer volume of expenses
Yeah.
that you have now.
Yeah.
That didn't necessarily.
Not to mention gas
and healthcare.
Right?
Yeah. How do you deal with healthcare? Most people can't afford a $500. Most people living a normal life, not an unhoused life, but a normal life, a house, family, whatever. They don't have enough money to afford a $500 emergency. So you can imagine somebody who's homeless, and maybe they're even homeless because of a medical bill. That's another main cause of homelessness.
So do you guys get into social policy, for example? One of my they talk about democratic socialists. I mean, I worked with Michael Harrington, who wrote The Other America. I helped found the Democratic Social Organizing Committee. My basic premise always has been is our money, spend it on us. He goes over and bombs a country and then says, here's $400 million. But yet people who need that money to sustain themselves, and we're not talking about the folks they want to make you think that, are shiftless, they just don't want to work, they want Uncle Sam to be their sugar daddy. No, we're talking about people like you're saying to get up every day and do the best they can. Husband and wife scrap a few dollars together. Why is it that we as a country, and I think our agencies need to do more of this, young man. I know we are, and we've met with our senators, everything is about, having an economic, I call it federal domestic relief for FDR, right? Federal domestic relief. Introduce a bill, federal domestic relief, that whatever we spend in foreign aid, because they're countries we are antagonistic with, Cuba, we give them $1 billion a year to have Guantanamo Bay there. Give Detroit $1 billion a year. We can resolve this.
Amen. I think that's great, Reverend. I think that's a great idea. And I think, agencies like ours that are serving people too often were not involved in social policy. And that's something we've been talking about.
But it's the difference. Let me tell you what, let me get spiritual.
Go ahead.
It's the difference between being a bomb in Gilead and a Band-Aid. The Band-Aid only fixes what presents itself now. The bomb ends the amelioration of agony, but also the source and cause. Let me tell you, I was thinking about this morning because I'm going to preach a sermon. The whole story of Jesus on the ship when there's a storm. The famous peace be still. You've all heard of that text, right? Peace be still. There's a comma, right? They wake Jesus up. So he says peace. What does he say peace to? To the wind, that caused the waves that was the immediate threat. Then he said, be still to the wave that was caused by the wind. So not only did he address what was happening now, but he put an end to it. That's where I'm at. Any social policy that wants to be a Band-Aid and not a bomb again, I mean, we're gonna do the Band-Aid because that's what people need when they come to us. And I'm not putting you on the spot.
No,
I just think there needs to be a national, just like 340B. 340B, hospitals have built new facilities, cost of medications have gone up 25%, and the money that was intended to help people who have co-pays and can't afford the medications have gone to the bottom line, and the Congress doesn't even require transparency on how this money that was intended for us was spent.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's why I did not put me on the spot. I'm 100% with you. I think
I'm mad as hell. I can't take no more.
And I think a lot of organizations like ours, like we're helping end homeless for people who are homeless, but we're not necessarily addressing system level things. And so we're putting that out there.
They're not either or. And I think to the degree that we put at risk the help we give because of the environment that we're in now, you have to be very careful about what you advocate. But I think long term, our kind of energy and synergy has to also have a piece of it that's focused on that.
Yeah, and I would say that any stakeholders, business people, definitely politicians who are looking for an organization to help support moving policy forward to help solve this problem. Reach out to us.
Every church in the city of Detroit who claims to worship Jesus and to know him, go to Matthew 25. And there was a separation between those who helped the poor and the homeless and those who didn't. This is the real work, building churches and paying for edifices and all that stuff we use poor people's money for. Really ought a portion of every church in this town ought to be going toward to help people who are homeless and hungry.
Amen.
Amen.
Don't get me going. And do you know, I don't know if you've ever heard of Niebuhr. There's Reinhold Niebuhr and H. Richard Niebuhr. Reinhold was a part of Nazi Germany, came and taught at Union Seminary where I did, famous theologian. And then you had H. Richard, who built the church, which is now Mayflower, on Linwood and the Boulevard, who led the hunger marches in the 1920s in Detroit, where 4 people were trampled because Ford Motor Company, Henry Ford Sr. released the whole security force along with the police department, and people were trampled. You know what they were marching for? Food. But that came out of a church. I'm on fire today. Yeah, and every person will go to Hartford or Greater Grace. If you want to be Greater Grace, then show some grace. I mean, I think we have enough wealth in our churches in Detroit to be able to solve each of these issues. And by the way, to your point, our churches ought to be helping with homelessness. Really.
We'd love to have your help.
Yeah. Well, I have a meeting with the health department Monday talking about organizing Detroit Health Collaborative, because all of these entities like mine and yours, we're not really being coordinated by the city, And if we can come together and yes, still apply for your own money, but there ought to be some kind of cooperation where if this is what you do best, then we should give you money for that. If what I do best is get the word out and advocate for policy, give me money for that. We ought not have to be competing, and then the folks who need the help, we can't help them all because we're parceling out in fishes and loaves.
Yes.
Go ahead, y'all. Go ahead.
That's real.
And don't talk about passing no plate. I don't preach to get paid. Go ahead.
The riches are yours in heaven. It's interesting how we're connecting this conversation about.
And please get the number from them. I'm sorry.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So we're talking about mental health and walking, and then we're talking about this run you guys have, Hustle for Homes. It's a 5K race on July 11th. How does that help your organization, and how can people become involved? Let us know the number slowly twice.
Well, I just want to say we have been calling it a race, but I just wanted to call it a walk run because I don't want to scare anybody away. So it's a 5K walk run, and anybody can come. It's on it's a week from today.
Next Saturday.
Next Saturday on July 11th at 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Right.
Yep.
And what was the other question?
No, the question is how
How
you
can
get
they
in touch?
support it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like what's the number and
Oh,
information?
you can go to hustleforhomes.com.
Hustleforhomesrace.com.
Hustleforhomesrace.com. You can also go to chsinc.org. The link to the race is there.
Are there levels of support you're asking for?
Is just a registration fee.
Okay.
So the registration fee currently is $40.
Okay.
And that it's.
So you don't have sponsors for this?
We do
or-
have sponsors. We already have all our sponsors lined up.
Okay, so I won't write you a check. then.
You know what? I would never turn that down.
That's what I'm looking to see how we can support you.
Absolutely. We are looking to. I put out there that we'd like to raise $10,000 in donations from this race. We're at about 3,000 right now. I know we'll get more people registering. Obviously, we make.
Well,
we
you
raise
count
money
on
for
us for
race itself.
500. Dave will give
Well,
you a
thank you
check
very
and
much.
just
That's fantastic.
get it because I'm headed to England next Saturday to teach at Oxford. I don't want to write the check before I go, and then we can get some people. Where's Cedric? Cedric loves to walk all over. We'll get Cedric in the race.
You know what? I got an idea that you might be able to use, and it's been done before. Is those participating get sponsors?
Those what now?
Those participating in the walk, they have people that will give
Yeah.
money because they're
Yep,
walking.
we do have that capability. So if you sign up to register, you can sign up to be a fundraiser.
Ed, you got $40?
I got 40.
Okay, I want you to write a check or give them $40.
You still in
And
the store.
I'm gonna get Dable's gonna donate money, but my church is gonna donate money as well. Yeah.
Double donation. Double
I
blessing.
mean, look, I go to concerts and all of that, and I see all these people. By the way, a decent concert ticket, they're gonna cost you $100.
Yes.
And we have all the fun in the world, for that moment we forget about what happened in our house or what we gotta go back to. I just really think the time is for us to invest. There you go, Ed. I appreciate you.
All right.
To
40
invest
40 and live
more.
in color.
Yeah, anybody else got some money, bring it up. If you don't have 40, just bring it. To invest more in things like this that have such a demonstrative impact. My whole mindset has been changed. There's a gentleman that stands on southbound Woodward at 8 Mile. I go to Starbucks, and so I come around about 3 weeks ago, and he's a decent looking guy. I'm a veteran, and we entertain angels unaware. So I pull up, and he says, "Reverend Sheffield, this the man's daddy." Now he's homeless. Normally I just roll my window up, keep going. And the guy is lucid. He's intelligent. I'm like, we just don't know, man, what people are going through and who these people are. And they almost, for us, remain anonymous because it's too much for us to even deal with their agony. These are family members. These are good people. And I'll say this because I say it to my church all the time. If it's based on choice, some of y'all would be somewhere other than where you are.
Yeah, once upon a time, one income was enough
Hustle
support.
for Homes 5K run and walk. The phone number is. Do you have a phone number?
We don't have a phone number.
We'll go to www. Sit back. Hustleforhomesrace.com. www.hustleforhomesrace.com. If you're listening, go there now. Make a donation. We'll be right back after this. Yep. I ain't see nobody else bring no money. Bring $1. Bring $5.
With Reverend Horace Sheffield, rise up, wake up, let the truth be told, the wake up call.
All roads lead to the Aretha Franklin Amphitheater for a jazzy night with Melanie Fiona.
And he kills me.
With Durant Bernard. Then, July 15th, Kelly Price. With Chico DeBarge. Tickets on sale now. Available at Ticketmaster.com in the Aretha box office. Presented by Chase.
Over a century ago, DTE Energy made a promise to serve our community by illuminating spaces and lighting up faces, by keeping homes glowing and good times rolling, by cooling you in summer and warming you in winter. by keeping bills as low as possible while improving reliability. And in 2025, we delivered our most reliable service in nearly 2 decades. Our promise is to our friends and neighbors, and it's one we will always keep. DTE.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your man Mike Epps, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from Reverend Sheffield. Make sure you get yours.
I'm Hester Wheeler, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from Reverend Horace Sheffield.
Every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on 101.5 FM or 1500 a.m. The Wake Up Call with Reverend Horace Sheffield.
This is Super Bowl champion Lomas Brown, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from Reverend Horace Sheffield, my man.
This is Grover Kings, and I get my wake-up call from Reverend Horace Sheffield every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on 101.5 FM or 1500 a.m. The Wake Up Call with the Reverend Horace Sheffield.
This is Super Bowl champion Lomas Brown, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from Reverend Horace Sheffield, my man.
This is Grover Kings, and I get my wake-up call from Reverend Horace Sheffield every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on 101.5 FM or 1500 a.m. The Wake Up Call with the Reverend Horace Sheffield.
July 8th, all roads lead to the Aretha Franklin Amphitheater for a jazzy night with Melanie Fiona.
And he kills me.
With Durant Bernard. Then, July 15th, Kelly Price with Chico DeBarge. Tickets on sale now. Available at Ticketmaster.com in the Aretha box office. Presented by Chase.
You've been listening to
Here's the wake-up call.
All right, y'all make some noise. Leverett, tell the young lady to come back.
Let the truth be told. The wake-up call.
Tell the mental health people to come back. I want to see Mike. All right. Yeah, all right, listen here. I meant to do this earlier. If everybody can get a case of water. You want a case of water? Get you a case of water, girl. Water cost. You see how much you want for water now?
Water costs as much as gas.
Okay. Lindale, go over to make sure they only take one case. Everybody can get one case. You can go help them too. There you go. Start back there. Start back there with that pallet. Huh? What did I say? That's out of the way. Go get the water back there. I know we're on there. If you're listening to me, come to 12048 Grand River and get a case of water, courtesy of DTE. We'll be here till about 11 o'clock. You can get a case of water, 12048 Grand River. Young men, you carry the water out for them, please. All right, Leverett, can you help with the water? Stop, that runs just like your mouth. Go get some water and help them with it. What's up, Chief Harris? Deputy Chief, what is it?
Community Relations Chief. How you doing, Reverend
Community
Sheffield?
Relations Chief. You all right?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Good. Your greatest claim to fame is that you're on the Dabo board.
Hey, I love it. I appreciate the opportunity.
And we're glad to have you, man. Glad to have you.
Thank you.
Let's talk about you ran for council.
Yes.
Let's get that out the way.
Yes,
How many votes did you get? Where you wind up in all that? You got through the primary.
I did.
Right.
Yes. And thank you, everybody, for the support and prayers and love. I got 20,000 votes.
Okay.
First time ever running.
Right.
Came in fourth.
Okay.
Against literally 3 incumbents.
Yes.
Great race. Learned so much.
Yeah.
People asked me, did I lose? I said, no, I learned a ton.
You didn't lose. And those folks have incumbency.
Yes.
So they have relationships, people giving them money.
Yes.
And these kinds of things, it takes money to win.
Yes, it does.
But you got to have a strategy. You got to know where your votes are.
Correct.
But it did certainly get you out there, and hopefully this is not your last run.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so what are we here to talk about? Fire safety, summer fire safety.
Yes.
and I've seen a lot of fires lately.
Yes.
Tell us why summer is worse than any other time.
Summer is bad because everybody gathers, families gather. And a lot of people don't know this. You have from June 29th until July 4th, from 11 a.m. to 11:45 p.m. to set fireworks. But the average person doesn't follow
Man,
that
they were
rule.
doing fireworks all night over my block.
All night.
Yeah.
I don't know where the money comes from because
And
these
before
fireworks are expensive.
And before we get any further with that, that also is a potential to cause fires because right?
Absolutely. What goes up, what?
Comes
Must
down.
come down.
Yeah.
So people like these elaborate fireworks and they go up in the air and they forget about it. But it's got to land somewhere.
Yeah.
And that heat will hit your shingles, your roof, and it can cause that fire in your dwelling.
Yeah. Ed?
Yeah, well, and of
Ed
course
knows
with
so
that-
well about what goes up coming down. Go ahead, Ed.
Yeah. What is the frequency? Well, I don't want to say frequency, but what could we do as a preventative measure in our homes or around our homes? Because a lot of fires can be ignited under circumstances that you're not even paying attention
Are you
to.
suggesting that people maybe water the houses down? Or
no,
what we do?
look, just like you barbecuing and you don't dispose of your ash correctly.
Right.
Correct.
Ashes,
So
not
it's
ash. Ashes.
So the first step, that's a great question. The first step is make sure you have that smoke alarm in your home.
Yeah.
That's the first step.
And if you keep hearing that beep, you know it's not working.
Come on, change it. That's why
And you guys pass them out, right?
we do. We don't pass them out anymore. We come to your door and install them.
Oh,
You
wow.
get at least
that
5.
way you know that he's getting up.
Yes, and they're 10-year fire smoke alarms.
Wow.
Which
And
means you don't have to
is it
change that.
income based?
No, Detroit, city
Wow.
Detroit.
So what do they do? Call you or what?
They can call us. They can hit us up on social media on Detroit Fire Department on Instagram or Facebook. But they can also email us at communityrelations@Detroit.
So I got a great idea. Let's do, Gerald, a show on smoke detectors and have people come here and sign up.
Yes.
I'll even look for some of my sponsors to give me $25 gift cards. Like the first 100 people get a $25 gift card. They'll schedule their
We would love that.
installation.
We would
Let's
love
work on that. Take that back and tell them that I'm doing that only for community relations chief Harris.
Thank you, Reverend Sheffield.
All right. Speaking of fires, fire.
You already know I'm gonna set it off. Let me
She's
tell
hot. She really got a lot. Go ahead.
I'm so grateful you're here because
I'm crazy. I've been gone for a while, man. So when I come back, I'm live.
I love it. You ready?
these are two cast technicians, and I hear it all day. Every time I come here, I hear it. And where did you go to school?
The great Benedictine.
The
High
great
School.
Benedictine Is that where High you School. Went?
Yes, she did. My Raven sister.
All right, I love to
Yeah,
point
well,
that
that's
out.
an appropriate name for her, Raven. She's a Raven.
Hey, listen, I own it. It's fine. You
And
know
a
what I'm
lot
saying?
of people don't know she's a champion.
That's
Champion
true.
at what?
Basketball.
State champion.
State champion.
2002.
Really?
Yes.
And what position did she play?
I ran the 5 and 4.
Okay. Well, how
Depending
about
on
that?
who was on the floor with me.
Well, let me just give me a moment real quickly to talk about Don Wallace, my cousin, who is 2 years younger than me, went to Northwestern. She's 6'4", and had the WNBA and the attention on women's basketball been around then. Now, we had a young lady that played for us who wound up coaching at Connecticut and all of that. I can't think of her name. It'll come to me. But, you know, it just didn't exist then. So anyway, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Wasn't it
lots
Lydia
to talk about.
Sims?
Lots to get to know.
Lydia
I'm glad I'm
Lydia
here.
Sims, the
Yeah.
great Lydia Sims.
Yeah, we laid a lot of foundation for women's basketball in Detroit for sure. We had a great era and everything else. And so we're here today to talk about fire safety.
Or
and
you just won't get past you being the foundation, huh?
well, look, I speak it and it's there. What
Now
I got-
we
what else I got to
see
say?
why she starts at the door, walks back and forth, and have people film her. You know?
Yep. Anywho, I'm sick of all these fireworks. How'd they become illegal in the first place? I thought when I was younger, you had to go to Ohio to get fireworks, and now I'm trying to sleep, and there's an M80 at the end of my corner. What's going on?
That's state regulated. From the
Some
state of
bull
Michigan.
stuff.
Yes.
But
I
why
don't
did
like
they
it.
change it? I guess is what she asking. Because there was a time that, you know, you bought that stuff under the counter.
That's correct.
It's so
Well,
dangerous.
everything, the key word is revenue.
Right.
So you just said it. We would go to Indiana. We go to Ohio. So I guess the state of Michigan said, well,
And they
hey,
tax it.
hey, they're going across the border. Let's keep it here.
Right.
So it's state
In the
regulated.
parking lot at the grocery store.
It's all state
Yeah, I was
regulated.
forever dissuaded from M80s and cherry bombs, 9 or 10 years of age. My mother, you know, was a emergency room nurse. And she would tell me of kids with fingers blown off. And, in fact, the young man who played for the New Jersey Giants, remember? I mean, New York Giants.
Yes, played D-line. I forgot his
Yeah,
name.
that's what happened to him. One in his hand. Blew off his finger.
Yes.
So what are the laws that we should know and how are they being
And
enforced?
safety, and safety, yes.
Absolutely. Laws
Okay.
of safety.
First of all, fireworks are prohibited on any public grounds. Mayor, our illustrious Madam Mayor Sheffield had the great fireworks show about a couple weeks ago. Go down there, enjoy the city of Detroit. It's free. Go to the riverfront. We've got one of the best fireworks shows in the world. Go there, but they're prohibited on public lots, any parks, anything like that. And your personal property, you have to have permission from that person. I can't go on Reverend Sheffield's yard because he got a nice yard and light fireworks, or Ed or Sabrina. You have to have permission. And like I said, it's regulated from 11 a.m. to 11:45 p.m., June 29th until tonight at 11:45 p.m. That's it.
So after tonight is over.
It's over.
Look here.
Please.
Shut it down.
You better come around my house
Was
after
there a
12.
period that it began? Because they've been doing this all week.
Well, it's the nature of the beast.
Right.
People go spend all this money on fireworks. They feel like they don't know the law.
Right.
They don't understand it's
But who
illegal.
tells them? I didn't know that there was a time frame.
Well, our executive fire commissioner, kudos to Chuck Sims. We've got a real robust community risk reduction program where we go out and tell the community. We try to spread that word, whether it's social media, whether it's in person, whether it's the churches. But people need to know that.
All right. So is there a phone number for, just getting back to smoke detectors, because that is a big issue. There's all kind of research that reveals that people's lives are saved if they have them.
Yes.
Is there a number for people to call to make an appointment for those?
Correct. The best way is the email, community relations with an S at detroitmi.gov.
Community relations with an S.
Yes, at detroitmi.gov.
Yeah.
And we also have a link where you can schedule, but the phone number is 313-596-2959. That's City Detroit Community Relations Division.
So what I
Detroit
think
Fire.
I'll do is, we got all these great concerts coming up. We got Earthquake coming.
Yes.
Is that we ought to allot some time on all those shows. If you have somebody that can come, they can sign them up at the events. But Gerald's going to put a show together in the next 3 or 4 weeks.
Okay.
That we actually promo on ADL and everywhere else to get people out. And they'll sign up. If they sign up, we'll give them $25 gift card.
Yes.
Only 100, first 100. That'll help, right?
That will help tremendously. And real quick, everybody, I know when we leave the wake up show today, everybody's going to grill. Keep that grill 10 feet away from any structure, any garage. Make sure it's away from children. Don't leave it unmanned or when I say man, I mean no gender, but don't leave that grill just sitting around.
Unpersoned.
Please don't leave it
Yeah,
unpersoned.
we've got more time.
Well, you know what?
But I hope we got to take a break. We're coming right back. But here's what I tell you about the folks who are grilling. If you're concerned about your home being consumed,
yes,
just tell the folk that think they can cook not to cook, and that's half the fire's gone right there.
That's
We'll be
half the
right back
battle.
after this.
Yes.
Here's the wake up call with Reverend Horace Sheffield. Rise up, wake up, let the truth be told. The wake up call.
July 8th, all roads lead to the Aretha Franklin Amphitheater for a jazzy night with Melanie Fiona, with Durant Bernard. Then July 15th, Kelly Price with Chico DeBarge. Tickets are on sale now. Available at Ticketmaster.com and the Aretha box office. Presented by Chase.
Over a century ago, DTE Energy made a promise to serve our community by illuminating spaces and lighting up faces, by keeping homes glowing and good times rolling, by cooling you in summer and warming you in winter, by keeping bills as low as possible while improving reliability. And in 2025, we delivered our most reliable service in nearly 2 decades. Our promise is to our friends and neighbors, and it's one we will always keep. DTE.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your man Mike Epps, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from Reverend Sheffield. Make sure you get yours.
Hester Wheeler, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from Reverend Horace Sheffield.
Every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on 101.5 FM or 1500 AM, The Wake Up Call with Reverend Horace Sheffield.
This is Super Bowl champion Lomas Brown, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from Reverend Horace Sheffield, my man.
This is Grover Kings, and I get my wake-up call from Reverend Horace Sheffield every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on 101.5 FM or 1500 AM, The Wake Up Call with the Reverend Horace Sheffield.
July 8th, all roads lead to the Aretha Franklin Amphitheater for a jazzy night with Melanie Fiona.
And it kills me.
With Duran Bernard. Then, July 15th, Kelly Price with Chico DeBarge. Tickets on sale now. Available at Ticketmaster.com in the Aretha box office. Presented by Chase.
You've been listening to
Hey, here's the wake up call with Reverend Horace Sheffield. Rise up, wake up, let the truth be told. The wake up call.
Come on, y'all get up. This is the last segment. Get up on your feet. Move. Got some water over here. 1, 2, 0, 4.
Here's the wake up call.
With Reverend Horace Sheffield.
Rise up, wake up, let the truth
Can I do my James Brown? Can I do my James Brown? Thomas, can I do my James Brown? Hey. All right. I watch preachers hoop now, and they all got that, certain thing that they do. And I said to myself, man, James Brown ought to get a royalty, I mean, really, James created a lot of that, And by the way, the Prince of Hooping was C.L. Franklin.
No doubt.
And C.L. Franklin attributed his style and demeanor to James Brown.
Wow.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, he's go read his autobiography. Absolutely. And they kind of went back and forth. And James would come on with that cape and throw the cape off. That's why preachers sit down, they stop, sit down, then they get back up,
Well.
I heard a preacher say, you problem with these preachers, they can't get up there because they don't talk themselves down before they begin to go back up.
Come on, Rev.
And the preacher, the theory is anywhere you've been, you can go, but if you ain't been there, you ain't getting there. Let me get off that.
Come on.
Joined by Darrell Woods, our police commissioner.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Doc?
I'm blessed, fighting a good fight.
So we got the po-po, and what I don't know what they call fire people, the ho-ho.
Help them, Jesus.
Depending on who you asking.
They're the finest, we the bravest.
Yeah, man. I'm old enough to remember when the number of folks who were on either of those forces were Neil and Slim. In fact, Coleman Young really won based on police brutality and saying he was going to integrate and change the police department.
Absolutely.
Yep. So Charles Webb,
Yes.
good friend of mine, my neighbor, certainly is a part of that. So we're talking about fire safety.
Yes.
Anything else you want us to know? And then we can just kind of mix it up on the 4th of July.
Just make sure, like I said, 10 feet away from that house when you're grilling. Don't leave it around for pets and kids to get hold of that grill. And what goes up must come down, and that flame is going to rise. So don't take the party in the garage and light that grill if it rains.
Right.
That flame is going to go up.
Yeah.
It's going to hit your rafters and your roof in that shed or that garage or your overhang.
Yeah. Well, here's what I'm gonna tell you about barbecue. We're gonna just open to the 4th of July. Ask everybody, what they want to say about that. And that is, I don't eat anybody's barbecue again that tastes like it was seasoned with charcoal lighter.
No.
I mean, people's how they keep.
No.
I mean, and got the meat on the grill.
No.
Not good.
No.
Huh?
You can't do that.
Well, I'll tell you how to do it because that's my forte.
That's your thing, man.
They use paraffin wax fire starters.
Right.
They won't affect the flavor.
Okay.
All right. Oh, that.
But we know you know how to light it up.
Oh yeah.
They got the little haystacks.
Cook
too.
it
Okay,
too.
so look, this is the 250th anniversary of the United States of America.
It is.
Ed, what you want to say about that?
But the 250,
About
I'm kind of mixed, and the reason being, this is the greatest country in the world, but it's not the best for everybody.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of torn. But
By the way,
I
you
appreciate-
know that Trump has people listen to our
Well,
show.
they,
Go
they,
ahead.
they can listen to me all they want. I done seen enough of life that it don't scare me because
All
I
right.
done lived
Okay.
my life.
We don't have
but
come on.
it is a great time for families to get together other than the time that somebody died.
Okay.
You know, we get together and
All right, Ed,
communicate.
I don't have but a few minutes. You got 30
I
seconds.
want one question. First of all, safety in our city and our suburbs. I want this to go to Daryl. What do
Captain
you-
Detroit.
Yes, sir.
okay,
Captain Detroit, Daryl. I just
I'm
wanna
talking about
em-
you.
Yeah, I want to emphasize. I'm Cedric Tooks. I want to emphasize on the safety today, the safety through the weekend. What would you
What kind of
recommend?
safety?
Yeah, safety.
I tell you,
our youth.
I give you. This,
Come on with
here's the safe tip: leave your piece at home unless it's your side piece. Okay. Leave it at home. Leave it at home
You hear my
because people drink and they get and all the stuff that's been
We
going
need
on
that
in
right
the
now.
family for 30 years.
Yes, sir.
You know, it all erupts.
Mm-hmm.
So don't bring no weapons. Don't invite family members you know who exacerbate arguments.
Come on now.
And best advice, do what I'm doing. I'm going back, getting my lazy boy and watch TV all day.
Ooh, y'all hear my pastor?
And if you got to see some fireworks, find a young girl, young man, and make some.
Amen. Amen.
Or try to.
Daryl.
Come on, Cedric, I'm out of time.
Okay, at this present moment, Pastor laid it all the way down. Thank you so much. God bless you.
All right,
Praise
man. All right, and Cedric, you going to fly with that cape you got? Here's mine, Langston Hughes. I've been blessed, man. All these people, friends of my dad. My dad has Langston Hughes stuff in his archives, you know. And my dad would bring people to TULC like James Farmer. I go look him up, Bear Russ. These people I know. But Langston Hughes' poem is still apropos. America,
Yes.
America, land of the free, home of the brave. America, be America, because God knows America has never been America to me. James.
That's deep. A lot of people, and I hate to just be a fire
Now be
nerd.
careful. You
Right,
work for the government.
Right. I hate to be a fire nerd and a fire geek, but you see people lighting fireworks every year. You see people grilling every year, and they don't even know why they're doing it. All they know is the 4th day of July, this is what we're going to do. They don't know about the Independence Day and what it meant to us as a community in the urban community. Does it really affect us? Is it really for us? And those are the questions we have, and the history books don't tell you that. They need to bring those history books and let everybody know how it really happened back in 1864. They really do.
Yeah, absolutely. Daryl?
Absolutely. We know that the abolitionists taught us very, very well what to the slave is the 4th of July.
That's what Frederick Douglass.
Absolutely. Frederick Douglass, who believe in abolishing slavery. I think that is applicable to us today. And I encourage everyone to read that. He was not anti-America, but he was trying to say
shameless hypocrisy of no shameful hypocrisy. And you missed my part about Frederick Douglass. You know, I am a historian, by the way.
For sure, I know.
And Frederick Douglass was a part of a slave farm outside of Baltimore.
Yeah.
And he was learned because his slave master's wife taught him to read.
Yeah.
And one day her husband overheard her teaching young Frederick, is what he called him, to read, and got in a big argument and forbade her from doing it and said, if you continue to teach Frederick to read, you'll forever unfit him to be a slave. Phil Fauner's book on him. And Frederick Douglass said he knew then what his path to freedom was. So he would take the scraps of food he had left.
Yes, sir.
Back in those days, during the Industrial Revolution, you had urchins and bootblacks, young white kids who were orphans that lived in the streets.
Teach, Rev.
Horatio Algo, from rags to riches, all in that context. And he would go into Baltimore and meet these little young white kids who were hungry.
Yeah.
And trade pieces of newspaper for food. I do a piece called bread for books.
Wow.
And my grandmother, who was 112, said, I used to walk miles to get a 4th grade education. Y'all won't walk across the street for a GED.
Period.
But that's Frederick Douglass.
No doubt.
And do you know, I said it today, and you go look it up, that no person in that century, not even Abraham Lincoln or what's the great, the Rockefeller, the barons of Benjamin, none of them's photograph was taken more and published more than Frederick Douglass.
That's huge. The abolitionists.
Yeah. And then you put it fast forward to Claude McKay. If we must die,
come on, Doc.
let us not be led like hogs to a slaughter. Come on, somebody. Yeah, man. You know what? Let me tell you something, man, because I was born the way I was in the movement and, King's house and my house and all of that.
Man, big stuff.
And I was so enmeshed in that stuff, man. I read everything I could find,
Yeah.
And I say this, and I'm done. And I said it on national TV. And I had a conversation with all my colleagues, sharp and rest of them, because they think soon as Trump is gone. Let me tell you something.
No.
1896 was Plessy versus Ferguson.
No doubt about it.
Great book called The Era of Real Pressure by Kenneth Stamp. Get it? They systematically erased everything that happened during Reconstruction. They killed 5,000 people in the South, man. People who were elected to local governments, got rid of them. PBS pinchback, you name it. We had people in Congress. So from 1896 to 1954, 58 years, Jim Crow and everything else, right? So you think just because you change the president, when you got Supreme Court justices,
Come on, Doc. Teach
and
black man.
everything else,
Come on.
it ain't gonna be another 4 years and we get back to where we are.
No magical
In fact,
wands.
I didn't read it today, but Trump said something this morning about that the 14th Amendment did not apply to African slavery.
Right.
Lord Jesus.
Did you know he said that this morning? It did not apply to black folks in America. And he's saying technically we still slaves.
No doubt about it.
But yet we go to the Aretha and shake our butts and catcall and whistle and don't even go damn vote.
Help us, Lord.
The only way we getting out of this, and it ain't gonna be black folks alone.
No,
we got
sir.
to find common ground with other people. All you Christian folk that don't want to deal with gay people, don't lay with gay people, but vote with them.
Come on,
Vote
Doc.
with
Come
them.
on, preach.
Preaching now.
Vote with them. You don't like Southern white. I don't care what Appalachian white, po black, po, whoever. We got to get this thing done.
Let's
Doc.
do it, Doc.
It's time, Gerald. I hope this conservative white Christian station don't take me off.
Well, that's enough fireworks for today.
They love me over there because I'm bringing folk to them. And listen, I have to show you one day this old white guy out at Home Depot. Have you seen this? It's something you have to get up and show. My daughter's out to shop in Home Depot. She runs some old white guy, and he says, "Oh, you Reverend Sheffield's daughter?" And she said, "Yeah, well, you know about him." She said, "Well, I listen to him every Saturday. It's the wake up call."
All right. Wake up.
I'm gonna send it to you, man. I told my
Please
people
do.
to make sure y'all get that out there, man. We're gonna do something with those smoke
alarm.
detectors.
Yes.
We're gonna have a show with you and police commissions because I don't think people know enough about what they can do,
That's right.
about situations that occur and how they access. We do have a citizen control board here.
Yes.
And so it's not the police overlooking the police, it's the citizens overlooking the police.
That's right.
Everybody have a wonderful 4th of July. If you ain't free, be free.
And stay sucker free.
Go home today and tell that Negro you are now a free man, a free woman. I
Wake
do
up
what I
call.
want to do because I pay for what I do, and you can't say nothing about what I do. We'll be right back after this. I mean, we're
Wake up
gone.
call.
Peace out.
Hey, here's the wake up call.